Alright, so it's April 16, 2013, and this is what I'm staying in, what is going to be my shop, my woodworking shop. Now, we bought a building, a 12 by 24 foot building. It was Amish made, has cedar siding on the outside. I can show you that here in a few minutes. The ceiling here is 6 foot 6 inches tall up to here. So as you can see, that's the outside. Okay, all the way back there. So this is quite a bit of space, and I'm not too worried about the height of the ceiling because I'm not going to be doing really big projects with really long or tall stock. But I like this most because this space here is all mine. Up on the top here, you can see up there, and all the way up there, all the way down to the end of the building. Above is storage space. I got to reinforce these because these are just 2x4s and they're spread over a 12-foot span. So if you see, it kind of bows a little bit. So I don't want to put anything heavy in the middle of it until I have it reinforced. So I'll probably get some 4x4s or 4x6s and run them across maybe every other of these 2x4s that we have up here, and then I'll feel a lot better about that. I'm going to insulate it, insulate this right here, and I'll put like paneling. I'm going to have lights that I'm going to put in. Have to run the wiring for that. I'm going to insulate the walls on all sides. As you can see, there's already some wire run over there. There's wire run over on this side. I have outlets, a couple of switches, and the power is on in here. It's a lot. So if I flip this breaker, this new breaker panel that we put in here, I'm going to turn it actually on. I have one light back here put in place. Now that's just temporary. I'll relocate that later. Now what I'm actually going to do with this, because there's so much space and I really want a dedicated office space, because I do multiple videos, different channels. I have a podcast that I do called Exposing Me. It's all about family, things like that. And from here, from this stud right here where it opens up to the top, from this stud right here back, it's just under 8 foot to the interior stud here. So I will have just under 8 foot wide by maybe 11.5 feet long. So that's a decent sized office. And I'm going to finish it all, of course. Like I said, insulation, put some paneling. I'm going to have some a desk back here so I can have cameras and computers, things like that in here. And this will be my little area. I'll have a door that goes back into this office, of course, because this entire thing here will have a wall. I'm going to put a floating wall in. And maybe when I do that, I'll do a little video on that there. Now, one thing, when you're going to wire up your own shop like this, we have, my wife's great uncle was an electrician for the military. But he's done everything for free for us. We just had to buy the materials. But I had to go back through and kind of redo a little bit on the outlets, because the way that I have read that is the correct way to wire them up, you actually take the wires and you curl them in the direction that the screw is going to hold them on. I'm talking about these screws here. The screws on the sides to actually hold the wires into place. I actually have an extra outlet here. These right here. These screws. So the wire should actually wrap around it in the direction that the screw turns, and that way it'll kind of cinch it down and hold it in place. If you just put the wire straight into it and then screw and kind of scrunch it in there, it might stay for a while and it might work its way loose later on and then connect with something and cause a fire hazard. So I rewired all of the outlets there. So I've learned a bit. I've read up on how to properly wire outlets, depending on whether it is like a terminating one that's at the end of a series, or if it's a mid-series outlet. I've also wired some light switches, things like that. So that is pretty much what's been going on. I do have quite a few projects marked in books that I would like to get to. I have, of course, all these books, all these different magazines and things. I think I'd mentioned those in one of my other videos a little while back. I know it's been a while since I made a video. We had a baby 6 weeks ago tomorrow. So that's our third child. So I've been really busy with those things. I gotta make shelves. I've got to get some pegboard and things to put up here so I can really hang up my tools and be able to see them and organize them. In the center of this whole place here, this whole shed, this building here, I'm going to use some of these. These are 4x8 foot sheets of subflooring, 3/4 inch. I'm going to use some of these. I had them left over from a project when we were turning our garage, which was my old shop, which the other videos were filmed in, turn that into a master bedroom in preparation for the new baby. Since we only had a 2-bedroom house, we had to turn it into a 3-bedroom. But I'm going to take some of those sheets of 4x8 foot, and I am going to use those to make some of the workbenches that I need for some of my tools. Kind of like the miter saw. And for my bandsaw, I'll make a little station for that. And my routing table, I'm going to make a stand for that to go onto, or make a kind of an even bigger routing table so I can put larger kind of awkward pieces on it. And I need to make some storage in here. It's going to be a process, but I figure that'll give me more opportunity to kind of show you what it is I'm doing, how I'm making these, where I'm getting the plans for them, and you know, show you the cheapest way that I can find to make them. I don't want to make it cheap quality-wise, but I want the materials to be affordable, because not everybody, including me, can afford to buy the best of the best and exotic woods and all that kind of stuff. But I do like to have nice things. And if I can make it myself, then I will do that. Kind of like with this office here that I want to make, I'm going to turn this whole thing into, I'm going to have a pocket door. And a pocket door, to make it, I'm going to use 2x6s on the floor and up here. And I will have 2x4s basically turned sideways. So how you see them as studs on the wall here, it's going to be flipped sideways. So, you know, there'll be space in between the studs for a door to slide in and out. And I think a 2x6 should be plenty wide enough to be able to do that. So those are some of my plans. I will do other smaller projects in the meantime with some of the scrap wood and things that I have. And I will show you what it is I'm doing and what tools I'm using. There are some tools that I have that I haven't even been able to use yet. Like this one right here. A rotary tool kit. So I want to be able to use those tools, do some nice little detailed work, and maybe even be able to make some I'm not even sure what they call it. You know how you go to the store and you see some of these little wooden pieces that are made for the different holidays, maybe a little Santa Claus made out of plywood. They've cut out the pieces, they've painted it, and just made it into something cutesy. Household stuff, things you can put on your porch, you can hang up, put a little wire on it, some things like that, and maybe I can make a little bit of money to put back into more projects or to finishing this building, because we live out in a country area and a lot of people like that kind of stuff around here. We've grown up around here, so we know quite a few people. You know, put something up on Facebook, say we can, you know, do some custom pieces for them, and you know, not charge an arm and a leg or anything like that, but just enough to be able to put it into something else. I'm not looking to make a profit. I just do this for fun. So I will work on that. I'm going to show you the outside now. As you can see, this is the side. It's all cedar side. And the doors come with these little hooks on it. Of course, it has an eye bolt over here. Hook it on, hold it in place. Pretty nice. And it's too wide. Not as in too much, but as in TOO wide, or TWO. Man, I get confused. Anyways, it's 2 doors, so you can fit stock in there pretty well. Big sheets, whatever you want. You can get all kinds of stuff in here, and that's really nice. Eventually, I'd like to put a window in with an air conditioner and be able to have some kind of heating in here for the wintertime, because it gets really cold. And when I was in the garage, when I made the table for my drill press and the fence, you see that I had a like a sweatshirt pullover on because it was cold out. My fingers were freezing when I did that video, but I would like to be able to work in a comfortable environment. I don't have to really rush myself through things like that. Alright, so that is it for now. Kind of an update on what I've been doing. Getting this building in here right next to the house, right next to where the garage was, but now is a master bedroom. And in that bedroom, I did the taping on the drywall and the mudding and the sanding, painting, laid the carpeting down myself. I did the trim work around the room. I've got to make a door frame, a windowsill, do the trim around that. Got to make a couple custom doors for where the water heater is, and I need to make a custom door for the crawl space under the house that leads from the master bedroom that was in the garage. That's the only access underneath the house. I'm going to make a little custom door for that. I already have the supplies to do that. Just have to do it now. And a custom size door to get from the house actually into the master bedroom, where we had to cut a hole in the exterior wall, the load-bearing wall. So I got to make a frame for that door, and I got to actually make the door because it's not a standard height. So no biggie. I will research a little bit about the actual structure of different types and styles of door. Talk to my wife what we want the door to look like, and we'll go from there. Maybe I'll even do a video on that. So more stuff to come. If there's anything in particular that you would like me to show you that I've talked about, the things that I'm doing, or have questions about something, or if there's something you want me to do that you would like to see, we'll see if we can arrange that. So leave some comments below, and I will see you all. Hopefully I'll try not to make it too long before I do my next project.